the blue dial, it's what really caught my attention. Now, the past couple of weeks, I had 3 Datejust watches. I had one 16013 champagne dial on the two-tone, the 16613, and of course the steel black dial, black bezel, the 16610. I don't have a child or children, but I'm assuming it's like the feeling of neglecting one of your children. Welcome back, guys. Quick video, quick story time, talking watches about my Rolex Datejust 16014 and how I've arrived at this being my daily, and overall just being content with this being my daily wearer almost every day. So guys, stick around for the full video. Give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into this video. So guys, like I said, the 16014 Rolex Datejust is my daily. It's a 36mm size case. I think the lug to lug is 44mm, which is perfect for my 7-inch wrist. It's stainless steel, as you guys can see, and the bezel is 18 karat white gold. So there is some precious metal in there. The blue dial, it's what really caught my attention. Now, the reason why I titled this a story time is because I'm gonna, like I said, give you guys the journey of how I've arrived to this watch. I've had a lot. I've had maybe 5 Rolexes at once, and the feeling of having so many watches, it might sound weird to some people who aren't really big in watches and collecting, but for me, I felt like I was neglecting all the other watches that I wasn't wearing while, let's say, I had my 16013 wearing it all the time, and then I'm looking at my case where I have my watches, and there's no life in these watches. The watches aren't running. I look at the date, and it's like 5, 6, 7 days because a lot of my watches have the date functions, and the date is way past what it is currently, and I just feel bad. I just feel sad, honestly. I feel like it's almost, I don't have a child or children, but I'm assuming it's like the feeling of neglecting one of your children, like having one that you're seeing every day of the week, knowing that you have 2 more somewhere else that you're not really spending time with. So that's the feeling that I have, or I had, with my watches the past couple of weeks. But to start, I'm a big fan of the Rolex Datejust watches. The 36mm size case is ideal for me. Now, I've owned Submariners, which is a 40mm size case. I've owned the two-tone, the 16613, and of course the steel black dial, black bezel, the 16610. I enjoyed it, but it was just an itch that I had to take care of. You know, everyone says, oh, you need a sub in your collection, and I just wanted to say I did it, and I enjoyed it for the time being. But I would always say the 40mm size case is not ideal for me. I always went to the Datejust watches. Now, my first luxury watch, my first luxury Rolex was a Rolex, and it was a 1601. That's the two-tone. It was a 14K yellow gold and stainless steel watch. Now, I fell in love with that watch. I had it for a couple of years, honestly, before even purchasing something else. I believe after that watch, I had the sub, the 16610, and I had the 2 of them together. And while I was wearing the sub became my daily because it was a steel piece, wasn't too flashy, was an everyday type of watch. But at that moment, I felt like I was neglecting the Datejust. And at the same time, I'm gonna admit, guys, I felt like I was wearing the Submariner, not for me. Over time, I felt like I was wearing it because everyone expected, you know, someone that's successful or someone that has a decent collection to have a sub. So I was wearing the sub a lot, even though I enjoyed it. But I'll admit, for the most part, I was wearing it just because everyone else would say, oh wow, he has a Submariner. He's doing it, you know, he's doing something. Even though you can have the same effect with Rolex Datejust, but that's just all honesty. The Datejust won overall after, because I decided to sell the Submariner, and I still had the 1601, wanted something next that was gonna be, of course, a Datejust, but quick set. So if you guys don't know, the 1601 is a non-quick set function, date function. So the next move was gonna be for a 16013 or 16233. Now I ended up skipping the 16013 and I got a 16233. And I believe that one was a white dial, Roman numeral. I enjoyed it, but the white dial wasn't for me. For some reason, the white dial, it stood out too much, and a white dial makes the watch appear larger than it actually is. So that didn't last too long. I had that for a couple of months, then I got rid of it. And then I believe I got a 116233, which is was the newest Datejust at the time, two-tone, very flashy, 18 karat yellow gold and stainless steel, but very flashy. The dial was a champagne dial with Roman numeral. Beautiful watch, but I believe it would be best on a lady's wrist. If you guys understand what I'm talking about, if you guys, I'm hopefully gonna put some pictures up so you guys can see it. It was definitely like a flashy Rolex. I enjoyed it, 36 millimeter size case, but it wasn't the same 36 millimeter size as like a vintage, like a 16013. It wasn't the same size. It was a little bit beefier. The lugs was a little bit wider, and the top of the lugs was a high polish and not brushed like the vintage Datejust. So I didn't really enjoy that aspect of it. That's what made me really look at it as not so much a timepiece that's, you know, vintage, but it was really like flashy jewelry. And I didn't enjoy that aspect of it. So I had that for a while, got rid of that one, and I believe, man, I had so many watches, and I believe I went to a 16013. I can't remember what dial, maybe a silver dial. I've had so many Datejust watches. That's why I believe, like, if you guys are looking for a Rolex Datejust, reach out to me on Instagram, mentorship.ceo, and I will let you guys know, based on my experience, personal first-hand experience of owning these watches, what to look for, what to expect. Just reach out to me and I'll definitely be able to help you guys. I don't ignore messages, especially when it comes to timepieces. But yeah, so to wrap this story up, the past couple of weeks I had 3 Datejust watches. I had one 16013 champagne dial, that's the two-tone. I had this one, and I had a 16233 tapestry dial, that's a two-tone with a champagne tapestry dial. And I was going through that feeling of wearing a watch and feeling like I not regret, but I'm neglecting the others that I'm not wearing. And I'm like, man, these Datejust, and I don't have a watch winder to keep the watches, you know, going. So I'm like, man, I'm letting these watches die. So it came to the point where I'll be doing work on my laptop and I'll put all my watches in front of me, wind them up, which was nice. It's a nice little ritual to do and enjoy the watch, look at it, wind them up, set the time, set the date, put them on your wrist. Like I would do that, but I'll not feel really happy overall, you know, just knowing that for the most part they're really just stored away. So I decided, okay, let me downsize, not have so many Rolex watches, because it's just a lot of value held in timepieces when I could use that money elsewhere. So I have a lot of other watches, but they're not Rolex. But the Rolex that I ideally want to wear as a daily is the one that I wear right now on my wrist, which is the 16014. So overall, the reason why I've boiled down to having this watch as my daily, the 16014, is because it's not flashy. So I look at the things I do, the things that I have, based on a lot of different factors. So the two-tone gold, any type of gold, yellow gold, just appears perfect on my skin tone. My brown skin, gold just looks great. But I've had to make the sacrifice of moving towards just a steel piece, or even maybe a white gold, because of the climate. You know, the economy isn't that well. You're hearing a lot about different robberies in different places, and it's just best to just maneuver in a way that is ideal. And I believe that overall, sure, steel piece wasn't gonna be my perfect watch, but I've grown to love it. Of course, like I said in the beginning, a 36mm size case is my preference, and it's just what I'm happy and content with right now. It's what I feel comfortable walking around, not worrying about it standing out too much. The dial is a navy blue dial, and when the sun hits it, it's almost like a lilac, like a purplish color. But overall, once no light is hitting it, it's a dark navy blue, almost black, so it doesn't really stand out. It's a regular steel piece. Most people, of course, know a date just when they see it, but at the same time, I'm still more comfortable and confident wearing the watch every day. But that's the reason why, guys, I've really boiled down to having this watch as my daily. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this little story time. I wanted to tell it, and hopefully you guys somehow have this same feeling of like you neglect all the other watches that you don't wear. I don't understand how some people have like a 50 watch collection, a 100 watch collection. I don't know how you guys do it. Comment down below. But if I had that many watches, I would be going crazy. I wouldn't know which one to wear. I'll be indecisive. I'll be a mess. And I know some people, if you're not big on watches, you're gonna be just watching this video like, is this guy crazy? But for those that really are into watches, you're gonna understand. But guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Turn your notification on so you can know whenever I post a video. And yeah, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for some more videos.
Yeah. Look, tell a man no trouble, I don't want beef, man, I just want vibes. Big man like me, no need for the telephone hype. I got too much getting online. One rule, then dead I'm on site. Wrong move, I bet they gon' ride. No need for the telephone hype, nah, no need for the snoozing. Big whip out.